John chapter 3, verse 24 begins mid-sentence and says, "Since John had not yet been thrown into prison." Let me go back to the beginning of the sentence in verse 23. "John also was baptizing in Aenon near Salim because there was plenty of water there. People were coming and being baptized." Now verse 24, "Since John had not yet been thrown into prison." This seems like kind of a weird statement. Obviously, he's not going to be baptizing people in the countryside if he's been thrown into prison. Obviously, if you're reading the book of John, you don't even know that he's been thrown into prison yet. This is, John the disciples writing about John the Baptist, and we saw some stuff about John the Baptist, but we haven't heard that he's been thrown into prison yet. It's a little bit of a hey, this is going to come, but there's also a really helpful little key here. The Synoptic Gospels, Matthew, Mark, and Luke. Synoptic means to be seen alongside, or they seem to record Jesus' ministry picking up right around this time, maybe, where John the Baptist is already in the Galilean countryside. And so if you're reading the book of John, there's been a bunch of events, a cleansing of the temple and the water into wine, and the Synoptics haven't recorded that. And so in a lot of ways, it's almost a way of indicating that those are picking up about right here. We have things here that have been recorded that maybe we haven't seen clearly in those synoptics, not because they were avoiding them, they just picked the story up a little bit later. So it might be a way or a point of clarification that, those might have picked up about the time John the Baptist was arrested. The book of John started a little earlier. It's also a kind of a good warning for us that doing ministry could result in consequences we don't like being arrested. Christ, in fact, was crucified, and he said, if they hated me, they will hate you also. And so some of these difficult things may come just as they did with John the Baptist, just as they did with Jesus, and just as they did with all those disciples that were serving as well.